Good exit out of one particular corner, who's had a slightly poorer one.
Lebanon still running in 6th place. Daniel Morad, who just lost out a little bit in that real encounter with Great Britain, and it's settled down. It doesn't look as though he's got any damage on his car, despite being a part of that sort of group that all were fighting for position. Now then, watch for them coming into the pits then. As they come down to turn 15, if they're going in the pits, they'll come off a tangent to take the pit lane entry, and then of course it's flat out into the first part and then speed limit to the second.
I know Malaysia's coming in because there they are, and Netherlands, are they going to come in or not? I can't tell whether, yeah, they are.
Race leader stays out, Portugal
and USA,
stays out.
comes in as well.
Interesting, so Ireland and Portugal, they stay out, but the 3rd place car of Team Malaysia does come in, so all the fans are standing up now to see how this pit stop goes. Netherlands in, as you mentioned, other nations also coming in to the pits on this one. So, battle in the pit lane then. Let's see what happens. Good overhead shot there as the crew goes to work. They have to stay in the pit garage until the car has stopped outside, and it looks pretty good for Malaysia.
13.7 seconds. What can the Netherlands do? Come out directly behind. They didn't quite get it done. 12.2 seconds. I knew that if they made a quick stop, they might have just sneaked it, but all they've done now is come out on the gearbox. But we got to respect Jerome Baker-Mullen is to, again, think about using power boost. Well, how many shots has he got?
Now, Lebanon didn't have a particularly good stop there, Team USA, but China had a fantastic stop. China have managed to get ahead of USA, get ahead of Lebanon as well, and Team China have delivered brilliantly.
So back on track, can the Netherlands do anything? They've got 7 power boost shots remaining, but Faris Fazi's too far down the road. How did he get that amount of gap? Okay, it's a wide angle shot, it's not actually as far in distance as it appears on screen, but nonetheless he's allowed Malaysia to escape.
Yeah, Team Ireland still leading. I wonder if we'll see them in this time around, or they're going to leave them out that little bit longer.
Clear track, but will stay out as long as your lap times are good. 1 minute 51.5. He and France are the consistently quickest cars on track. Danny Watts, by the way, also doing a good job running in the mid 151s. Ireland not showing any indication they can wait until lap 16 before they come in, and we're on currently lap 10.
So now, 2nd place man, Portugal comes in. So Philippe Albuquerque brings it into the pits as Adam Carroll from Ireland stays out there. So the Portuguese crew that did such a great job in Chengdu, of course, and were part and parcel of that successful run to the win in the feature race in China, now have got to do the job once again. And what they're aiming to do here more than anything is to make sure they maintain their advantage over Malaysia.
I think what Ireland's going to do, because they've got the lead, because of the pace that they've got, they're hoping that the majority of the field will come in and make their stop before Ireland comes in. Therefore, when Ireland goes back out, he's not going to be confronted by other slower cars who yet have got to make their pit stop, and therefore he will gain overall. It's a gamble, you never know what's going to happen. We could have another safety car intervention, and all those plans and strategy could be for nothing.
12.4, pretty quick stop for Portugal. So that brings Philippe Albuquerque back out on circuit. Malaysia has already gone through, and just watching this. No, there is Malaysia, so no, yeah, he comes out well ahead of Malaysia and the Netherlands, so that's pretty much as it was. He had that advantage over Malaysia before the stops. China, though, the one that really gained an advantage, being hounded by Marco Andretti of Team USA.
Yes, and directly behind is Daniel Morad for Lebanon. Marco Andretti, again, very angry. He knows how to restart races. That's what he does all his life, racing in USA. Now, on the gear, well, not quite in the gearbox, but getting close to the gearbox of Team China. The run up into turn 4. This is what Marco Andretti's here to do, to learn to race on proper racetracks.
He's
not
down
just
the inside.
The oval.
He's done it. He's overshot the corner, and here comes Hopin Tunner back at him. But Andretti has the inside line for the left-hander, side by side. China gets him back.
Good racing, clean racing by all 2 drivers. And Daniel Morad, he's sniffing. I want a bit of that. I want Marco Andretti's place.
Yeah, he wants to claim that scalp, but he's not quite close enough there. And Marco Andretti's going to have to think it through again. It was a great attempt. He just carried a bit too much speed into the corner here, John.
So here we come up the hill, hard on the brakes. Just too quick, overruns the corner. The switchback, China almost nicked the front wing end plate on the rear tyre. Again, side by side, Marco Andretti's got it done and dusted.
Oh, great stuff. He went round the outside, and now Daniel Morad's going to try and follow him. He can't do it. Well, we saw Jeroen Bleekemolen go around the outside at turn 9. Marco Andretti has repeated the trick, and right in behind them as well. Looks like Australia. Take a look at this one, John.
Courageous move, but Marco knows no fear. And he's done the job, he's got the position back, and he's done it as quickly as possible. He's not allowed himself to fall back into the pace of China and therefore lose momentum. Now watch Lebanon, they're going to have a pop one way. He goes to the right, cuts back to the left. trying to unsettle Huffington, but isn't far enough up.
Can't quite do it. Ireland still leads this race. South Africa in second, not having stopped yet. Then Brazil running third, yet to make their stop as well. But this is the battle we're really enjoying at the moment between China and Lebanon. Currently this is for 10th place, but remember still to see a few guys come into the pit, so it'll actually be for around 6th place. New Zealand rejoin! Oh my goodness, he almost ran into the Australian car.
And he overran and almost put himself into jeopardy by losing another position.
My goodness, that was close. Oh, Bamba, desperate to try and gain as much advantage, but what it has done is got him ahead of Italy, remember, who he was dicing with earlier.
Yeah, he does not want to fall behind Italy, but in doing so, that was as close a goal as you can get. So now he's got his eyes lasered into the back of the Team Australia, so the usual battle we're familiar with, Australia versus New Zealand.
So, take a look at this as he joined again, John.
Yes, has to make sure he doesn't cross that white line, and just how close can you get? I mean, that was courageous, almost foolhardy, but he got away with it. I think he just clipped the line, but he's allowed to clip it. He didn't go over that pit line that demarcates the exit of the pit lane from the racetrack.
Yeah, certainly that shot probably made it look worse than it was, but even so, it was pretty scary.
Ireland
now
getting ready, so coming in on the 13th lap.
He is in, so the first pit stop of the day for Team Ireland. Can they keep it clean and smooth and retain the lead of this race? That's what they're aiming to do. Still waiting for South Africa, Brazil and Mexico to come in.
Drive-through penalty for Team Netherlands. Just come up on our timing and scoring screens. 9.9 seconds. Sub-10 second pit stop. Fantastic, Ireland.
Yeah, and these guys are coming down the back stretch. He's going to be out on circuit well ahead of Portugal.
That's why I thought once Ireland had the lead, had the pace, had the control. But hold on a second, he's still a long way down the pit lane. He can only wait till he gets there. He's on it now. So Adam Carroll back on track. Fresh set of tyres, in control of this race.
Total control at the moment. Drive-through penalty for Team Netherlands, as you mentioned. That's going to be a real blow. And we can find out why, I gather, from Diana. Diana, what can you tell us?
Yes, I'm down at Team Netherlands here in the pit lane, and they've got the drive-through penalty, as you know, but they've got no idea why, so they're absolutely furious on the pit wall.
Okay. From other sources that it was for causing an avoidable collision. That must have been the incident with India at the start, I suppose.
Yes, I mean, it would be nice that we get a notification of precisely what this drive-through penalty is for. Somewhat late in the race, with skirts into the 13th lap. Anyway, they've got a penalty and it's been decided to penalise them with the drive-through. Frustration, their own Blake Mullen in a battle with Malaysia, so he'll be very unhappy. Yeah,
I mean, they're effectively in 4th place, aren't they, once you take the pit stops into account, so it's a huge blow for the Netherlands. Yeah. USA coming through.
In fairness, if it is for that unavoidable incident, or that avoidable incident, I should have said, with India, then it is a justified penalty. It's just sometimes we get the information on the screen, it doesn't actually tell us what it was for, the offence, whether it was for a speeding or an incident or non-incident on the track.
So, out of turn 9, Australia now keeping the pressure on China. For the moment, this is for 9th place, but we're still waiting for South Africa, Mexico, and Brazil. No, Brazil just have been in, so it's only South Africa who have just come into the pits as I speak. And then it's just Mexico we're waiting for to make their first pit stop of the day.
In the meantime, Portugal have become the fastest car on the circuit. They've got fastest lap on lap 12.
Yeah, that's interesting, but of course there's a big gap between Portugal and Ireland in the effective battle for this race win. So Philippe Albuquerque getting on with it. John Martin just dodging around in the slipstream there and hoping tongue, but not close enough to attack, I think.
No, and he got close as usual, and now he's going to go look the other way. Comes out of turn 15, gets in the slipstream on power boost, 3 shots remaining, so pulls up alongside. That's the benefit of another 45 horsepower. That's the difference in power boost here. Normally at 60, South Africa comes out, so they've managed to get back into this battle, and more importantly, they're leading it.
Yeah, they have done pretty well. That was a good stop by South Africa, I think. They've got it out ahead of Australia and China, and that could be absolutely crucial in the final accounting here. A very good effort by South Africa getting out just ahead, but Australia also getting the place from China, and in fact John Martin going on the attack immediately here. But remember, Zhao may well he's obviously got fresher tyres. If they're new tyres, that will give him a big advantage.
Well, certainly John Martin has got the pace right now. Adrian Zhao not quite as quick as one would expect coming out of the pits with fresh tyres. These tyres are preheated, so it's not as if you're coming out on tyres that are at a lower than ambient temperature.
Zhao now, I think, has just about put himself fully up to speed. It's going to be that much harder for John Martin. France making their pit stop. Of course, they had an extra pit stop earlier on to change a tyre, So France way down the order.